Hey everyone, I'm back to using my webcam for this video just because I didn't feel like bringing out my other camera and getting all dressed up and pretty because this is an important issue and this is an issue that I have been talking about on my channel for the past couple of videos that I've done. I will link all of those below if you want to check out those videos, but if you can tell by the title of this video, you'll know that I'm going to be talking about YouTube abuse that has been continuing on this website and the news that has unfolded with that. And I'm also going to be referencing a video that Carrie made entitled Responsibility on YouTube. And I'm looking down because I wrote some notes about her video and points that she made and quotes that she said, so then I can reference back to what she said. Because I had a lot of mixed feelings on her video. So I think maybe I will start off with the new information that has come out about abuse in the YouTube community. And I hope you don't mind that I'm also wearing my glasses. I'm hiding my disgusting under eye circles with them, so I think this is a good cover-up. But anyway, so the new stories that has unfolded within the YouTube community is that recently, I think as of yesterday, which was the 9th of November, I believe that's when it came out. I don't know if it came out on the 8th, but I heard about it on the 9th, which was yesterday. And Craig T. Dillon, who is a vlogger, like a YouTube personality, he was outed as a sexual abuser. Coerced them into doing things and was doing things without their consent to their bodies, and it's just disgusting. It's horrible. And Craig is denying all of those allegations that have come out against him, and he even said that, you know, if you have been raped or if you're accusing somebody of rape, why don't you just go to the police instead of making a YouTube video about it? And that is the most insensitive thing you can ever say to a victim of rape or sexual assault or sexual harassment or of any such nature like that, abuse, whatever. It's so insensitive because your odds are stacked against you when you go to the police and you report something like that, especially when it is rape. And it's like your odds are not going to be in your favor, and the police might not have sufficient evidence to do anything in the case. They're afraid because they don't know what's going to happen if they bring this situation to the public. They don't know. They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know who's going to react in what way. So that's a very insensitive thing for Craig to say. And am I surprised that he said that? No. I knew of Craig, but still, the fact that this is just coming out, it's very sickening and it's disgusting. So now I'm going to move on to Carrie's video. And she made this before Craig was outed as a sexual abuser. So Carrie's video was entitled Responsibility on YouTube, and in the video she is essentially talking about how if you are a YouTuber, specifically a vlogger where you share your opinions or you share part of your life with the internet and your audience, that you have a certain responsibility to know your analytics and your demographics and then tailor your personality a little bit and alter your videos and your content to make it acceptable for your audience to watch. So she starts off by saying that she's not comfortable with naming the names of the people who have been outed as sexual abusers, which I can kind of understand from her perspective. She is linked with one of them. I can understand how she is not comfortable with that, but I would have at least hoped that she talked about the other ones. You know what I'm saying? I would have at least hoped that she referenced those, because all she says is she's not comfortable with it, but that she'll leave the information down below so that her audience can go check out the Masterpost and all that stuff. So she's indirectly referencing who the abusers were, but she's not directly coming out and saying who they are, which I think is very important. So then she says that, and then she goes on to say, because of the analytics page, the vloggers aren't oblivious to who is watching their stuff, which I think is true. I don't necessarily, personally, check out my analytics page because I don't think mine has enough information yet to show like the ages of who's watching my videos. So for all I know, I could have 13-year-olds watching my videos. I could have like 50-year-olds watching my videos. I'm not really sure. But I do know like where in the world people are watching. But even if I saw that there were young kids like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds watching my videos, I would hope that my videos enlighten them on these situations that are happening, because I think young kids need to be made aware of situations like this, and they need to know the right way to go about handling it and the wrong way to go about handling it. So for me personally, I would not mind if young kids were watching my videos. I wouldn't mind, because I have nothing to hide. Even though I do sometimes swear on my channel, I feel like swearing is just a thing where it's being so desensitized now to where people can just swear about anything because of how the media is. But she goes on anyway to say that when you're on YouTube and you get to the point where your audience gets so big, there comes a point where you have to stop expressing yourself in certain ways. And then she says, quote, "You've just got to think about other people." So that I can kind of agree with, because there are people of a young, impressionable age who are on YouTube watching YouTube videos. And she does make a point of saying she doesn't understand how just because in the real world there are ratings for like movies and TV channels and stuff, that doesn't happen on YouTube. But she doesn't understand why it is that way, because a lot of young kids do watch YouTube, and I can understand that from a certain perspective, but I feel like there isn't any, because it's the internet, and the internet is open for anybody of any age to go on. It depends on the YouTube channel. YouTube is a free platform where you're open to expressing who you are and your interests. So if you are like an adult and you do sketch comedy, I wouldn't expect that adult to kind of water down their content just so that they can have younger kids and more of a wide range of ages watching their video. The adult humor is what they're best at, so they stay at that and they're passionate about that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like maybe for vloggers, that might be more open to interpretation as to what route that should go down, because vloggers are essentially, yeah, talking about relatable situations and real life things, and someone can easily say the wrong opinion or the wrong thing, and then that can turn into a young kid watching a vlogger spewing misinformation. I think it kind of just depends on the YouTuber and on the content that they make, and what they brand themselves to be as. You know, that's a bit of a gray area, just because this is the internet, and the internet is widely known for being like the hub for people of all ages to click on whatever they want because it's readily accessible. She goes on to also mention role models on YouTube. You don't get to decide if you're somebody's role model, which I agree with. You know, sometimes you're just thrown into it. You expect that maybe you go into YouTube thinking, oh yeah, maybe I'll get a few people watching me, but then it sort of explodes and you didn't expect yourself to find your channel and yourself in that situation where now you find yourself being a role model for young kids. I can understand that perspective. So then she goes on to say that you have two options. One is if you're uncomfortable, stop making videos. Or two, you adapt your responsibility and make sure that the content you're putting out on your YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter page, etc. is appropriate. I can understand what she's coming from when she says you need to alter your content on YouTube. I can kind of understand that because that's the main platform that you might promote yourself on. But I would say that your personal Tumblr page or your personal Twitter page, I would say you have more of a free will in that respect to kind of put up what you want to put up. But you can always just say, you know, you can follow me on Twitter but not on Tumblr because I have things on there that aren't appropriate for you guys to watch or look at, so just stay on YouTube or Twitter and then maybe I'll make a separate Tumblr page. That's kind of how I would view it. But I'm open to you guys following me on Twitter or Tumblr because I don't have any inappropriate content on there. But again, even if I knew that I had younger people watching my videos, I haven't been censoring myself anyway, so I wouldn't start censoring myself because I feel like, especially with topics like this, you need to not censor it. I hope I'm really explaining this correctly because in my mind it sounds right, but I don't know if it's coming out well on camera. I don't know. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. But yeah, that's kind of all I really wanted to talk about. I also think, because this is as good a time as ever, I will be taking right now, before it slips my mind, the YouCoalition pledge. And the YouCoalition pledge is essentially a pledge that you say to your audience that you will be open with talking about and informing people of any sexual abuse or abuse. You prioritize consent and you have a positive outlook on how you should appropriately respond to these situations. I am going to say the pledge now, and I will leave it down below in the description if you guys want to go and say it on your channels if you have a YouTube channel. Okay, so I have the pledge on my phone here. Alright, so I pledge that I will always prioritize consent. I understand that consent is the presence of an enthusiastic yes rather than the absence of a no, and that consent cannot be given when someone is asleep or physically or mentally incapacitated. I pledge that I will respect my partner's wishes and that I will not pressure or coerce them into doing anything that makes them uncomfortable. I pledge to stand with survivors of sexual abuse or harassment by showing them compassion and respect. I pledge to never blame the victim or any abuse they've experienced. Sexual violence is never the victim's fault, and that's very important. I pledge to admit when I make mistakes and to apologize for my actions. When someone tells me that I've said something sexist, victim-blaming, or otherwise offensive, I pledge to be an open book to their words. I pledge to support conversations surrounding sexual abuse and harassment in a way that is respectful of my needs and the needs of those I am speaking with. And then lastly, I pledge to create safer communities both online and off. There we go. That is the pledge. I've been meaning to want to take that for a while now, but I've just been too lazy. So I figured since I'm making this video, it's the appropriate time to do so, and my glasses keep slipping down my face. So thank you all for watching this video, and I will get back into like using my really pretty Panasonic camera, I promise. I just didn't feel like it was a necessity of me when making a video like this because, you know, you don't have to have the prettiest camera ever to put out good content, good solid content. So I feel like, especially with this, the words mean more than just like the aesthetics of the video. I will leave Carrie's video down below in the description. I will leave a lot of information in the description. So if you want to check out the description and get more information on all of the abuse that has unfolded on YouTube, and the stories of the victims that have come out and what you can do to support the victims, etc. I will leave all that information down below. So yes, that is about it. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have had an amazing day and a great Halloween. Bye guys!